Okay. So my name is Kiara Safi, and you can call me Kiara. And I'm here. We'll be doing the simulation class for speaking for IELTS speaking test. I would like to share my screen to you. Okay, so yeah, is it visible to you now?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, before I'm explaining to you what IELTS speaking is, I would like to ask you, um, what information have you got from this IELTS speaking, or like any um maybe just simple information you have known from this IELTS speaking?
Hmm. I know that it's divided into four sections. Oh no,
Mhm.
three sections, right?
Yeah.
Part one, part two, part three. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
That's
huh.
right.
Uh huh. But I need to know more what each section does. Not really familiar what to do with them.
Okay, no worries at all. So I'm here will be explaining this to you. Basically, IELTS speaking tests have three parts, and they are approximately 11 to 15 minutes in total. And I'm here attaching the si sim uh examples of our um part for our each part, and there's like this part 1, 2, and 3, and I took it from bestmytest.com, which we can learn from these samples during this simulation. Not all of it, but we can start by like having one or two parts of it. Then I would like to talk about the marking criteria for this IELTS speaking test,
Mhm.
which I took this from IELTS website. If you can see over here, this is not like fully clear, so I will just switch my tab to here. Basically, we got like a 0 to 9 band score for this IELTS speaking test, and each band will get like the criteria, and it depends on how you can deliver your speaking abilities and your communication, also like your grammatical structure during your test to your examiner. And if we see it from here, there's this 0 until 9 band scores, and it has different criteria with each own part. So there are four important parts that we can highlight from this IELTS speaking test. The first one is like fluency and coherence. It's basically just like how you can be fluent with your speaking abilities, and how you can like connect each sentence to the next sentence with like not having that much gap of pause, and I would say you're not stuttering that much during your speaking session. And we also got this lexical resource, which means that you have enough vocabulary to discuss the topics, or like your given topics, and you can use the um, some idioms, or like some not too um, I would say like not too harsh, or like mean slang that we can use, or like you can also speak with idiomatic language that is very easily, and I would say like you can say with natural idiomatic expressions. And we're going to this grammatical range and accuracy, though some native speakers do not actually pay much attention to their grammatical structure or their grammatical accuracy. In this IELTS speaking test, you'll be tested on how you can use this grammatical range, or like how you can actually put this grammar knowledge to your speaking in real life. And the last one would be like pronunciation. It doesn't mean you need to have like good accent, or like since let's say you want to go to the UK, it doesn't mean that you need to have your British accent right away. You can just like have a clear pronunciation that people can understand you better. And it would be better as well if you got some accent, but it's not a must. So if that makes sense. And do you get any questions for these band descriptors?
Hmm. Oh, if I don't use idioms, that means I cannot get a good score. Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not using idiomatic expressions, you're not getting a full score. It's still in consideration, but using some people may use their idiomatic expressions, but they do not use it naturally, so it may sound a bit weird and a bit like too formal, or it may sound that you're still practicing. So as long as you can get like any natural expressions or any normal conversation in life, then you'll just feel free to do so.
So we don't have to be. I don't have to be formal. Uh,
Um,
I heard that in IELTS we have to be. We have to be as formal as possible, right?
well, yeah. The examiner will also like examine how you are speaking fluently, but it doesn't necessarily to be like fluent in like too fluent that you need to speak that fast, or you need to speak like a native speakers, but you just need to know how you can adjust your pace of speaking, and you can manage to not like have that much gap, or like that much gap of pauses, and not to have like stuttering process too much during your speaking. I mean, it's normal and it's like just natural if you need to think something to talk about, but it doesn't mean that you must have this much gap of pauses. And I'm not sure if you will feel like if I don't speak fluently, then the examiner will say that my fluency score is bad. No, but it
Mm,
is how you can manage your long pauses, or like your stuttering to be more, I would say, natural, and you are thinking with like giving much, maybe just a small talk, or like a repetition of the topic that you're given.
hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's because I follow some Instagram accounts, and some of these accounts say that you need to use a very formal structure if you want to, like, you're not supposed to say I don't, and then you'll have to say I do not. Is it true or not? Or you can't
um
say I don't.
this IELTS speaking will like conduct with informal speaking tests, so it's not necessarily you have to do like I do not know, or like I cannot.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
so it's okay, yeah.
So you can say anything that you want to, as long as it's like polite and it's in like normal informal way, not like you're talking to your close friends that you might have like mean words or something. Just like be as polite as possible, but use the informal way to speak. Even though like you're doing a job interview, you do not need to like use I mean, you're allowed to use like don't or can't, or like any other slang or maybe like not formal ways, but it's still normal to do so.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there
Okay.
anything else?
No, 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 no. It's it's clear enough, I
Okay.
think. Okay. All right.
Okay, so before we're trying to do the IELTS speaking test samples, I'd love to ask you like what is mm, your dream band score of this IELTS speaking?
Hmm. I was hoping to get at least 7.
Okay, that's really good. Well, if we're looking at this band 7, uh, and looking for this fluency and coherence, the first thing you need to do is like you need to speak at length without like noticeable effort or loss of coherence. Do you know what that means?
Hmm. Does it mean that I have to speak clearly?
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
Or does it mean that I also have to make everything understandable so the examiner doesn't misunderstand my words? Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
that's such lovely answers. So, at this fluency and coherence, you need to speak at length without noticeable effort. That means that your effort to speak is not noticeable by the examiner, or you can just like naturally speaking without like having long pauses or like without having too much like stuttering process. And also uh, you need to demonstrate language related hesitation at times or some repetition or self-correction. This means that it is natural to have some gap, it is natural to have some stuttering or some repetition during your speaking process, as well as like language related hesitation. But it doesn't mean that you can have that much time to do this hesitation or like self-correction that much, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And you also need to use a range of connectives and discourse markers with some flexibility. This means that you need to connect between like one sentence to another ones, and to make it like just flowing naturally.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I
Okay.
understand.
Yeah. So then the next one, if we're looking at the lexical resource, the use of vocabulary resource flexibly to discuss a variety of topics. Second one is use some less common and idiomatic vocabulary and show some awareness of style and collocation with some inappropriate choices. And the last one is use paraphrase effectively. This means in this lexical resource for this band 7, you need to use the like related vocabulary to your given topics, and then how you can use in that sentence effectively. Okay, and the use of idiomatic vocabulary or idiomatic phrases is not a must, but if you can do it naturally, that will be such good point. See,
Hmm. Naturally. So everything has to be natural.
yeah, because speaking is always natural. You do not read text when you speak to other people. It's always spontaneously, it's always being a natural. If you're like being asked by random person, like maybe there's one gentleman asks you for like a direction to this restaurant, and you will not like try to read some text from Google, or like you will literally can just show the Google map, but it's not what we're talking about right now. It's like how you can deliver this direction to the restaurant, and how you can paraphrase it effectively so that the gentleman knows what you mean. Yeah.
No, no, never mind. Well, but I s- if I want to say something, but I need to think first. Is it okay?
Yeah, that's absolutely okay. But during this IELTS speaking test, you need to at least give the examiner a notice that you want you want some time to think about your answers. It doesn't mean that you have like 1 minute or even 2 minutes for thinking about your answers, but you will have at least 3 to 5 seconds during your talk, but you need to cover it up with maybe a repetition of your topic of your given topic, or you can literally just like making some small talk about the related topic so that the examiner will say or will think that you're not actually taking time for thinking, but it's just like the way how you cover your thinking time to the small talk or like your repetition of topic.
Okay. Thank you. I understand.
Okay, so the last two uh, are grammatical range and accuracy, as well as pronunciation. So in this grammatical range, you need to use a range of complex structures with some flexibility, as well as frequently produces error-free sentences, though some grammatical mistakes persist. This means that the use of good grammar will be such a good point to you with without having too many grammar errors in your speaking. But this doesn't mean that if we're looking at the fluency and coherence, there's this self-correction. This can include your grammatical correction as well. So if you feel that you're talking about the past, but suddenly you out of nowhere like tell it with the, let's say, with simple present, you can use your self correction in this bit. So
Mm,
it doesn't mean that you can have that much opportunity to use this self correction, but you need to be aware that the use of good grammatical range will be such good point to you. Okay. And the last thing is pronunciation. This shows all the positive features of Band 6, which are here, and some of the Band 8 here, but not all of it. So if we're looking at this, the use of a range of pronunciation features with mixed control, as well as some effective use of features, but this is not sustained, and you can generally be understood throughout uh, though there's like some mispronunciation of individual words and sounds reduces clarity at times. This means that you need to practice more about your pronunciation since it will affect how people can understand what you're actually speaking and what you're actually talking to. And also, if you are having this mispronunciation, just remember the self-correction, influence, and coherence. You can also do self-correction with your mispronunciation words, and it is fine. But please bear in mind that this self-correction doesn't mean that you need to do self-correction in each sentence or even in each words. So just keep your count and do your best during this pronunciation and the grammatical accuracy.
uh, well, what if the pronunciation is because I'm Indonesian and suppose the pronunciation is like mixed with my native language? Will it also
Well,
affect my band?
let's take an example from like Indian people, as I'm here also like meeting many Indian people, and I will say that their speaking ability is pretty good and pretty effective, though they got this some accent from their Indian language, or like they got
Mm-hmm.
some Indian I would say their way of speaking. I cannot give you example because I just cannot do like the way they're speaking. But it doesn't mean that when you have this mix between the English pronunciation and your Indonesian pronunciation, and you may also be like from uh, a city that has this such a strong accent that will like kind of affect your speaking abilities of English. It doesn't mean that you will have lower band as long as you're also um like being competitive in the other band descriptors. I mean like the fluency and then the lexical resource and the grammatical range. So the pronunciation is not everything, but as long as your examiner can understand you, then that should be all right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so is there any questions for these band descriptors before we're going to do the sample questions?
No, I think we can move on.
No? Okay. We will go to this section. Just bear with me. Okay, so yeah, we will do these sample questions and not all parts, but I will choose randomly from these questions. There are like 9 questions given here. So I will start asking the question, and you can use your like we can test your speaking ability during this simulation. Is that right?
Oh, okay. So I just answer?
Yeah. Well, basically, we're doing this IELTS speaking practice.
Oh, is it okay if I cannot answer properly?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's the purpose of learning. So, practice makes
Oh, okay.
perfect. Then, we need to
Mm-hmm.
try this one, and so I can also understand your speaking ability. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can start with this question number one. This is such a typical question that is asked during your speaking part one. So let's talk about your hometown. Where is your hometown?
So my hometown is in Bandung, West Java, Indonesia.
Okay, that's great. We will jump to the next question. What do you like about your hometown?
I think it's a pretty um good city. It's famous for its culinary and entertainment. It has a lot of things to see. It's a nice place for sightseeing. The weather is a bit soothing as well. It's cold but not freezing. It's sometimes it can be hot enough but not scorching. The sun is quite alright here, and I think the people are friendly, especially to outsiders, but not so much to fellow citizens.
Okay, that's great. The next question, what do you not like about your hometown?
It's crowded. It has a lot of uh, the population here. Well, there are a lot of people living in Bandung, so they are not all. Yeah, the population here is getting bigger and bigger every single day. We almost reach 2 million or 3 million. Yes, but not so many people have a decent living place. So many people choose to live in apartments, and therefore, well, it doesn't make any better. It's just crowded. It's very crowded. That's the bad thing about my city, and also it's very dirty compared to any other cities in Indonesia. I think this one is the dirtiest city in
Oh,
my opinion.
oh, okay. How important is your hometown to you?
I wasn't born here, so but I grew up here, and I think that's what's important, at least. I wasn't originally, well, I'm Sudanese by blood right. My
Okay.
father and my mother are both Sudanese people, so I am a Sudanese person. But I was born in Bekasi, so originally I was supposed to become a Bekasi citizen. But since I grew up here in Bandung, I can become a full Sudanese person, learning more about the culture here. Yes. And I
Okay.
also like that this hometown is the place where I learned about everything. Is that good enough?
Okay. Yeah. Is that all? Okay. Um, we'll go to the next question. I will give you one or two more questions. So, do you think
Okay.
you will continue to live in your hometown?
Probably in the next 3 to 5 years, but sooner or later, I'll probably have to move out somewhere else, probably to another country, not even to another town. Yes. But for now, I don't have my own house. This is my parents' house, basically, the one that I'm living in. So I want
Okay.
to stay here as long as possible until I can get my own living place. And until
Mhm.
that day comes, I will remain here, in Bandung, where I'm pretty much comfortable. So I can call this as my comfort zone. So until I
Right.
find something else to get out of my comfort zone, yeah, I will remain here for a while.
Okay, that sounds great. The last question would be like, where we will talk about your accommodation. So, what kind of accommodation you live in?
I live in a house,
Hmm.
and yeah, my house is a simplistic and minimalistic house. 2 stories, one kitchen, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, um, and a living room and a TV room for us to watch movies and TV shows together. Yeah. Um, and yeah, that's it, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just do this six questions and we'll just evaluate what we have talked about. So the first thing we talked about was your hometown. Um, so you mentioned that your hometown is like in Bandung and it's in West Java, and you only like kind of like mentioned these two. Well, these are two important things that the examiner will know, but it's better that you kind of like describe more about like
Mm,
where it is. You might like feel that well this that's what the examiner wants to know. Actually, no. He wants to know what you like, how you can actually describe what you want to speak about. Though you are asked to mention like one or two things, but it will be great if you can describe more and explain to your
mm,
examiner how your city is. So maybe you can start with like, yeah, so my hometown is like in Bandung and it's in West Java, which is like
mm-hmm,
it's really close to the capital city of Indonesia, and it's Jakarta. So Bandung, or maybe you can add that Bandung is maybe the biggest city in West Java, or you can say Bandung is the biggest city in Indonesia, which is wrong. But like they don't even care because like they just want to know how you can deliver it without like giving two simple answers. I mean, it doesn't mean that you're an introvert or you're an extrovert that people might think, oh, an introvert will say yes or no, or like will say the important things. No, the examiner will not care what your personality is, but they want to know how you can deliver your speaking like more, um, I can say comprehensive, if that makes sense.
mm-hmm. Okay, so basically I have to answer longer, right? Put more details, you mean?
Yeah, you need to, and it's
What
better.
happened if I just answer like that?
If you only answer like what you have answered before, it will actually reduce your points, though you will be asked like many more questions since it's only like the first question. So the examiner will say like, okay, this is such a not very good, like not to be mean, not a very good start, but as long as you're improving in the next questions, then everything should be okay.
They will say that.
Sorry?
They will say that to me.
They will not say that, but like
Or they will not say.
since you are asked like so many questions, and question one literally just like the first question, so at least you need to make such a good impression to your examiner. So I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah, they need to be objective, not like subjective, but I mean it's humanity and stuff. So just try to make good impression on your first questions, not necessarily like just one or two. You can make it like one until five, and then if you're starting to like stutter, then that's really fine, but just try to make a good impression.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry, miss.
No, that's really fine. We're learning here.
Uh, okay.
Okay. Well, because we only got like almost 1.5 minutes left for this meeting. I don't think that we can continue further what we have like talk about, but I can give you like some feedback what we did today. So if you don't mind, we can like start evaluating what we learned just for this speaking simulation,
Mm-hmm.
if that's
So
all right.
I learned with Miss Kiara that about the basics of IELTS test and also the basic scriptures
Yeah.
and what to achieve in the test. What I should say. And also she gave me some tips on how to uh, answer properly and what kind of questions are being asked in the test. She also gave me tips to answer longer that I shouldn't answer really short because the examiner wants to know more about me and I have to show more about myself. Yes, I think that will be it. Is that enough, miss?
Okay, that's yeah, that's really good. So I'm really glad to give you some simulation speaking today. And if you don't have any questions, so I will see you again in the listening simulation video. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much, miss.
Okay, thank you.